Hello, my name is Luke and I work for Expert Best. Most businesses we talk to run everything off of a couple of spreadsheets. And that was more than enough at first. Somebody needed to keep everything tracked on their stock, so they used spreadsheets like Excel. And it worked at first. As the years went on, they are still using the same spreadsheets. Now it's doing more harm than good for the company they run. What you are seeing is an example of the type of system we have built for someone who had a very similar issue with the fact that they were losing business and getting things wrong a lot of the time simply because they were still on their spreadsheets. On the right is a spreadsheet that is showing dummy data of our clients' data, or what it technically looks like with how all the columns are sorted out. And on the left-hand side is using the exact same data is the system we have completely rebuilt. This is to show the difference between these two systems. I'm going to do 5 simple jobs on both examples, and you will be able to see the kind of difference I'm talking about. Let's start with a relatively simple job, just to show this off. Say a customer wanted some utility knife blades. On this demo, there are over 200 lines on this spreadsheet, so I'll simply search for them, and you're able to see the exact blades that I wish for. 3 packs left of 100 blades for £5.39. Now that didn't take too long to find, but that was never the main issue. The next issue is what to do afterwards, to actually sell them to a customer. If this was on their old system and they explained this to us, they would go onto the orders area and fill out everything from the reference number to the customer who's been wanting to buy these, the code of the product name itself, the quantity which they wish for, the price, and the overall value of what they're asking for. And after all of that, they still have to go back to the stock sheet and make sure to change the quantity of said product. So we made this a lot simpler for them. In our system, if we type in the same exact option, you immediately get all the information you need, exactly like a spreadsheet. However, they don't have this order button. Once it's clicked, a pop-up will be shown where you can enter the customer name and the quantity. Place the order, and it will then deduct the total quantity from the stock. This was later changed slightly, as they pointed out they wished to have 2 options: a drop-down to select from their existing customers and an option to manually type in names for potentially new customers. Moving on, we wanted to show what catches people out the most when it comes to these types of spreadsheets, when somebody else needs access to this file. Say you're making changes on this side to the quantity of some products in mass. You make your changes and you save, and you think your work has been updated to this spreadsheet, but then another coworker has just saved after you, overwriting your work completely, and you'll never be able to know that has happened. On our system, it's completely live. So in the top right is showing the view of how many people are on the system at once. And even if you somehow are making changes at the same time, nothing will be deleted. Everything is saved, and all changes will be emailed to the manager, who can then review them and make sure they are right. So nothing will slip through the gaps in this new system. For the next job, this is also a very important piece, finding out what's running low for your stock. As you can see on the right hand side, there's a quantity column and a reorder column here on the right, and comparing them means reading down 200 rows. I could sort it, for example, up here, but due to somebody earlier merging a couple of rows, it won't let me, so I'll have to go in and change all of this manually to get it to work correctly. In the system, it's a simple button. So here, over in the statistics page, you can see all of the rows that hold the reorder levels. And on the statistics page, it will tell you which ones are running out the most often, so you can do something about it rather than just reordering it again. So perhaps ordering double what you usually order, as this is constantly running out of stock. Next would be adding in a new product. To do it on the spreadsheet, you will just need to go to the bottom of the spreadsheet, add in a new row, fill it out with all the information that you know. Very simple and easy way to do it. But again, it's not matching up to anything. It is not fixed to any other of the tabs. So this takes a lot of time out of your day to make sure all of this information is correct. However, on our system, in the settings area, it is a simple click of a button, which will then pop out exactly the right information that you will need to add to the system. So it comes out as a simple form where all your changes can be done here. You just simply need to name it, price it, and simply add the line, and everything will be added. You then can check to make sure that the supplier is correct, or any of the prices or reorder levels, or how much of it is in stock currently. All of this can be changed very easily, and this has now been updated so the entire system can use. So what's the main reason for a system like this? Why spend your money on it? The spreadsheet was never considered a problem. It's done its job for years, and it was the right tool when our clients started to use it. What changed, however, in their business was the fact they grew more people needed to be using the spreadsheet at the same time, and more decisions started resting on this spreadsheet alone. That's when the spreadsheet gets to a point where it's no longer the right choice. None of what you've just seen is complicated software. The main feature for a system like this is that it's built completely to you, so you can keep working without having to call us to change something, as most of the information in here you can change yourself in the settings area. For our systems, we can build around your business and how it actually works, so it can be a lot more simpler than something like this, or way more considerably detailed if you need it to be. If you are currently using spreadsheets, doing more than it should be, please click request a quote and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching.